Hello friends, it's me wearing Bubu with hoodies designed with tassel and a fringe. If it's something you're interested, join me on this. Let's do that. Here I double folded my fabric into 4. We're gonna start the imputing our measurement without starting line. Here I'm pinning my fabric with pins. It's a light fabric anyway. Using my pin to hold it very well. As this you can see, I'm pointing. We are going to use the line to hold length for the sleeve. We're using tail length here for the sleeve. I have to input the 60 inches for my gown length. Next is to input 4 inches width neck, then 1.5 inches for back neck depth. Connect it at the 4 inches width. Then the front neck depth of 3 inches and connect it as well to the 4 inches width. The next one I'm going to do now is to input half of my armhole measurement, which is 9. At that point, here I'm trying to show you to determine how free I want my sleeve to be at this wrist part. Here is to input the measurement for my sleeve opening. So when I'm done with that, I connect it at my sleeve, my armhole side, the 9 inches point. The next one is quarter of my hip plus 5 inches. Then after that, I connect it in a straight line. At the hem part, I'll input the same measurement. My hip divided by 4 plus 5 inches. Then at the center, when I'm done with that, I have to curve the sharp edge. Now is for me to cut out the back neck line. The time to split the two shoulders, front and back. Then when I'm done with that, I have to shift the back neck line inside for not to cut it while cutting the front one. Now I have to cut the front neck depth. After that, I have to arrange it very well the way it is. You can see the back neckline and the front neckline. Here at this point, as I was adding this, cutting it out, I added extra 1.5 inches for free. I want it to be more free for me. Then at the hem side, I have to go up by 22 inches where I want my slits to be. Then here, I have to stop my stitching here, and here the other side is the opening part, two sides. I have to notch it. Then the one you're seeing now is the inner facing. The front inner facing, I folded the leftover fabric and place it like so. Use my chalk to trace the neckline. Then at that point, I have to come down by 3.5 inches. Here I want to slit that part for the front. After cutting out the inner facing, then I have to slit the front part as well as the inner facing. Then I'll remove my front body now, and the next thing I will do is to add the width for my inner facing. The width I'm using is 4 inches width. At that point I have to come down by 4 inches, go in by 2 inches, connect the line like so, and cut it out. Adding facing is optional, inner facing is optional. For me, I want to do that for knit finishing. Okay, now this time is the back neckline that we're going to trace out the facing as well. Using the same width that I use for the front bodies, facing 4 inches as well, and cut it out. This is the back facing, this is the front facing. The next thing we're going to use interface. You have to fuse it very well. If you can use that paper stay, you can use that, or air stay. And you can see now I'm marking out the line at my front bodies where I want the rope that I designed to be. I braided rope using 6 strands of cords to braid this rope, and seal the edge with, I'll seal the tip of it with lighter to hold it well. So this is the design I want to be. I want to place the design at the front. As you can see, I'm trying to show you the cord I used. It's in the market. When you go to market, you see the cords there. So the next thing now, at this rope, I added a tassel on it. You can see that tassel. I have a tutorial on that already on my channel, how you can make a tassel using silk thread. The silk thread I'm showing you right now, without spending much anywhere. You do that yourself and you gain. Understand? So I want you to watch that if you haven't done so. So I use it to design this as well. It has colors of it anyway. The color we are using is the white one. Placing my rope this way, like so, at this point, and place the other one as well. And mark out 16 inches there for where I want the stitch to stop. That's how I want my stitch to stop. Okay, I'll go ahead and stitch my inner facing before placing the rope design at the front body. Knit finishing before adding the design. You can see my front the front bodies, how it look neat. Let me show you the inner facing. You can see how it's neat anyway. Like I said, it's optional. It's not a must that you put this particular one there, the inner facing. Because if you like, you can skip that. Your hoodies will cover the rough edges, but there I use my overlock machine to seal the edges. Now I have to place the rope like so and stitch it at that 16 inches point together, the two ropes. Okay, just to give it a touch of design anywhere. And here is the back bodies. I've done the same thing. I've already stitched the inner facing. The two bodies are ready to join together at the shoulder. I have to join them now. I'm finished joining the shoulders now. Okay, and you can see the sleeve part. I've hemmed that part. And let me show you the inside of it. Overlock machine to lock that edges for knit finishing. Now it's time to measure our neck circumference for our hoodies. 21.5 inches. I placed my hoodies this way, double folded it. Okay, it's gonna be 4 pieces. Draw my starting line, and the length that I want for my hoodie is 18.5. Half inch is just the seam allowance. Then at this point, this is how I want it. This is the top part of it. I have to mark it, and this part is the neck part. I have to level it. And the next thing we're going to do now, you can see now the top and the neck part of it. At this point, I have to come up by 3 inches. At that 3 inches point, I'll mark half of my neck measurement, which is 10.75. So the remaining 1 inch is just the seam allowance. And here at this point, I've come up by 3 inches and connect at the center point you're seeing me. Curving it to the center point, like so. Now I have to go up again to make the 3 inches point to the other side. As you can see, you have started seeing the curve for the back. Okay, this seam allowance, I have to connect it up. When I'm done with that, the front part, you can see I curve it a little bit. I don't want it to be pointy. Okay, and our hoodie pieces is complete, 4 pieces. I'm gonna use one for the lining. You can see this for the lining and the other one for the self. So we'll go ahead and join our hoodies. At this part, I'm showing you to be at 1 piece now. After that, joining that, I have to use this fringe to place it this way and top stitch it. When you get to that, you will see, you understand better. Okay, now it's time for us to measure our pocket. I double folded my pocket like so. At this point, I want the width of my pocket to be 8. I added 4 inches there for the width. When you open it up, it's 8 inches, and the length of it is just 9 inches. I added half inch there for the seam allowance and connect a straight ruler. And at this point, I have to curve it. Then when we're done with that, we'll cut out the pockets. And these are the 2 pockets. It's ready. I'm gonna go ahead and use this fringe to design them. Before then, I have to fold it and top stitch it like so. Before using the fringe to design that. I've stitched the side. At this point is where I'm going to stop the opening part of it. This will be at the 2 sides, and here is the hem part. I'll go ahead and hem it. I've done stitching the hoodie, and now you can see me placing it on my dummy to see how it's gonna be. And this is how it's going to be when you finish stitching that. Now at this point, we have done stitching the design, then the fringe one. You can see how beautiful it is. The other one that will serve as the lining, I'll place it on top of it like so. The right side facing the right side. Now the fringe will be inside. Okay, the fringe will be in between the lining and the self, and you sew that. I'm done doing that already. Now I have to top just to flip it inside out, and that's it. Very beautiful. I have to place it on my dummy again to see how it looks, and it's looking neat and beautiful. It's now for us to fix it at the neck part. Next, using fringe to design the two pockets, and they are ready now. Have to mark the center of our neck, placing the right side of the hoodie at the right side of the body at that point. Then after that, after sewing it all around, I'll now have to use the one as the lining to cover the rough edges, like so. I will show you how you should do that very well. Like this point, you have to place it this way at that point I just sewed to cover the rough edges here, and top stitch it all around, and our hoodie is ready. Everything is neatly sewn, and now our Bubu Abaya is ready. Everything is neat, and I've added the tassel on it to design it. Like I said, you haven't watched the tutorial, do so. The hem, I've hemmed the hem side. And thank you so much for your time. If you are still there, still watching my channel, I appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time on my next video. Keep watching. Bye bye.